Okay, hopefully everything's going good for everyone. Had to make a lot of changes and edits and fixes and stuff. Trying to get this all going. Turned out I had a second camera that I was trying to use, and it was causing a lot of the problems. So ideally that won't continue, and everything should be good to go. So where I left off last time, God, I haven't worked on stuff in like a week. Is this mold for the armor? So that's like where I'm at, what I'm trying to get done. So I'm just gonna pick back up on that, and yeah, keep working on it. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the outside of this done so that I can have this like outer shell, because it's gonna be the mold's gonna be, this will be at the top, so it's gonna come out from like the side. So it's kind of weird to how I usually do it. So I'm kind of working on it slow, and I'm just filling in the sides here, trying to get this stuff ready, because then I have to box this in and fill all this with silicone. So I mostly worked on the inside first, trying to get this all like smoothed out and get my parting line more or less how I wanted it. Like, it's not totally perfect or anything, but I'm gonna try to get it there today, now that I'm like finally back to work, so to speak. So I'm just gonna be doing that. I got my headphones on, and for some reason I'm not hearing my music, so let me take a quick peep at that. Now I see the monitor's off. You might see my headphone cable occasionally in the frame. I have to get an extension for it because I don't have decent wireless ones. It's weird to like not have touched this in like over a week. It almost feels like foreign. To have not worked for so long. I was almost like forgot what I was even doing. I was so focused on trying to get this stream together, which was just way more work than it should have been. It turns out I just got a little overzealous on trying to make it better, so I had to kind of take a step back once I realized what the problem was. Alright, so it's gonna be just a lot of like filling in these areas here. Yeah, because this is going to be the bottom. I'm like, I have to think about how I want this is the top, so I have to think a little bit about how I want it to look. Because even though like the mold still has its own parting line, so I have to think about like that. I mostly will just we'll try to kind of flatten this out. I gotta work like a little faster than I normally do, because I feel like I'm trying to catch up on a week lost. I mean, I know I'm not catching up, like it's not like there's a deadline or anything, it's more just like a personal goal, personal need as far as my own productivity. These last 2 months have kind of sucked as far as my ability to be productive. But hopefully that stuff's all mostly over. Oh, I see, that's just the highlight. Alright, so let's see, I just gotta smooth this stuff out, really, just fill in these gaps and smooth this all over. This whole top part needs to be like really worked on. It's the parting line's like started, but it's not really close to being like clean. So I'm gonna try to first just chunk this in here. So I'm not pushing too much clay around, trying to get these filled. I guess that looks mostly okay. Like this line here is like mostly clean, and that's really like the important part. With the orientation of this thing, it's a little tough to keep it in camera, but I'll do the best that I can here to keep it all visible. Clay is really soft, so I can just do a lot of like short passes if I, you know, need to. It doesn't need to be like you're trying to get it perfect on the first try. Like corners are the tough part because it's like almost upside down, so it's a little tough to keep it like in camera and also work on it. I guess some of the bits will just be a little occluded. So you can kind of see, I mean, you can't really see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make sure I got a smooth transition. It's just this like underside here is, it like goes under, so it's just, and this being like a, you know, it's like a valley almost, so it's kind of tough because you've got a wall on both sides blocking the view. But once I have it like done, I can just ignore it from there. I don't know why this clay started to turn yellow. I wonder if it's like sun damage. It's the same thing. I did a lot of this earlier, so now I'm kind of just filling in without trying to not destroy the mold edge that I made. It's okay. So there's a little bit, I need to fill in a little bit right there. Before I try to smooth this over. It's better if I've got like some mass I can push around instead of trying to drag clay from elsewhere. I mean, you can do it, it just takes way too long. It's funny, I had this like idea in my head that I was gonna be able to release this next figure by Christmas. What is it? We're just starting April and it's still like not finished. I mean, there was some delays that I wouldn't say couldn't foresee, but just were a little more time consuming than I had expected. Yeah, this today's probably not going to be like super interesting. It's going to be a lot of me trying to get the first half of this mold made. And this part isn't even like the final version. I decided that I was gonna just mold this like kind of where it was, because it gives me a kind of a base piece, because I want to make different versions of this armor plate, and if I have like kind of a basic-ish version, then I can, like, I gotta make more molds, you know, like down the road, but I can use casts from this as like jumping off points, so I'm not remaking the whole thing every time. I mean, I'll get like faster at making stuff as I go, but it's still, you know, it still takes time. What am I looking for? Something I can drag big chunks of clay around with. And like, it seems you know, like the preferred way is to make everything new every time, but that's like a big time investment. Especially with things that need to fit together. Like, re-engineering a part can be, you know, pretty intense. If you re-engineer it and it like doesn't fit right or whatever, or you've got like a tolerance problem or whatever, then you've set yourself back to a degree, because you have to then make it again and try to fix the problems that were introduced. So like, I mean, any company that makes a series of products that are similar, like, tend to base some of their iterations off of like kind of a base design. You're trying to not just like minimize the engineering overhead, but trying to, you know, get the most out of the work that you put in, or time or money or whatever, for that initial design. And you know that these aren't any different, because I want stuff to be like interchangeable, or at least like fit together. So there should be some degree of like, not standardization, but kind of. I mean, think of like our DNA, right? Or any living thing's DNA. It's like making a new variation of an organism based on the old one. It's not, you know, like creating an entirely new organism from scratch every time. I mean, that wouldn't even be possible. Can't even tell if this is like, yeah, I guess it is some overlap. Trying to have like a clean line there. It's better than it was. That side looks okay, more or less. Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but I used to get a little frustrated with doing this like clay part of the mold design, but I kind of got to a point over the fall where I was like, I have to just learn to like this part and try to make it interesting for myself, because I'm not gonna not be doing these. So as long as I have to do this step, I should try to find something, you know, enjoyable about it. So I'm just treating them like their own sculpts. Because I mean they are. I'm basically sculpting the mold. Can't hear a damn thing. Oh, like where you are, or just like on the stream? But thanks for the lurk till you're able to, you know, chime back in. Let's see if I can chime in real quick here. Cool. I just wanted to, you know, be sure it wasn't like something on my end that I could fix. I'm just pushing clay around, you know, back to doing that. Gotta push this clay around so I can get this first half of the mold designed. And then I can actually get into making some good stuff. Nice. I was hoping it would be a little bit better. Maybe the lighting's just better too, probably, which helps. Yeah, I'd upped the bit rate too during testing, so it's definitely a little higher than it was back in the fall. I wanted to see if I could get a little bit more video quality out of my internet connection. I was like doing tests on Wednesday and it was like super slow. I was like speed testing at like 40 megabits down, which was pretty abysmal. Turned out it was partially my router, so not my router per se, but I have like an extender, and that was compromising the connection quality, so I ended up having to just disconnect it. But it seems like it's doing okay, so I guess I can't complain. Hopefully I can keep this better quality video going and not run into any more problems. Yeah, I ended up just taking it off, and I just reset it as like a wireless speaker receiver. So it still is like, and it's just got like a printer and a speaker connected to it, so it still does its, you know, basic job there. Someday I'll get like a better router. Supposedly there's like better mesh networking ones available now, but I don't have the cash for those. doing. This guy I used to kind of work with at a startup. He works for, it's like Eero, E-E-R-O. It's some kind of mesh networking router startup place. And this guy used to do like DevOps stuff at NVIDIA, so he's really into hardware development, which is cool. I can appreciate that. That's good to know. I didn't know there was like a technological implementation difference. Yeah, I'm just using airport stuff from Apple, which I'm sure is not like the best, you know, but it's like low maintenance usually. But as like the newer Wi-Fi standards are, you know, coming out, I'll probably have to get some newer equipment eventually. I should have known I couldn't I couldn't escape the tech race forever. I guess unless you just stop using the internet, which, you know, I'm not gonna do. Yeah, one of the setup switches I did was I have the music running in. It's actually a headphone cable running from my iPad to my computer. So I'm using wired headphones to monitor the audio. So I need to get either like an extension cable, or preferably just like some better Wi-Fi headphones, or wireless rather, not necessarily Wi-Fi. I've got Bluetooth ones, but they don't seem to be that great. Well, at least they work fine with my phone, but not so much with my computer. I assume it's just like a difference in the Wi-Fi standards that they're using. I could probably also just buy like a USB Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth dongle to get like a newer standard. That might improve the connectivity. That's looking better. I need to not worry about trying to make this look perfect, because that's not what the goal is. It needs to just be good enough. Perfect is an impossible standard to reach. No problem. I will be here. Yeah, if anyone's got any recommendations for like good quality wireless headphones for like a computer that aren't crazy expensive, I'd be interested in that. Because I don't have crazy expensive headphone money. have like decent but not junk wireless headphone money. What am I looking for? I need nope. Oh, maybe these bigger ones are fine. Yeah, I don't need to worry too much about the outer part. I'm gonna cut some of that off. So I should stop like fixating on it and just get this general surface done. I can get to it in the weeds on trying to smooth out all the little like bumps and dips that just kind of develop by dragging clay and stuff around on the surface. Seems to create these like peaks and valleys without intent, just kind of the way the material builds up and the subtle pressure you put on it as you like drag the tool across it. So sometimes I'll catch myself like really trying to work those out and smooth the whole surface down when it's really not that important. What really should be trying to do is prevent any surface, I don't want to say imperfections because it's not that, but like surface changes that could be slightly problematic for like the mold, whether it's you know, the silicone flow on the first pour, or like the fit, if they're like have any weird bumps or anything, like it could prevent them from like the halves from fitting together that well. You know, the East Coast time difference now is a little bit higher. It's like 3 hours now instead of 2 hours, since Arizona doesn't adjust for daylight savings time. That means, like, you know, my 2 o'clock is now what's to 5 o'clock EST instead of 4. So I know that could be make watching a little difficult for some on the East Coast or elsewhere. Forgot to close my office door, so my cat is looking at me longingly as though I've abandoned him. Very sweet, but very needy. Let's see, I could probably... I'll just use more. All these like little divots here I need to fill in. Just make it easier to smooth this over. Sometimes I forget I could just do this. Use my hand. Because this stuff is, it's like soft enough that you can do that to get like general shape going, and then just use your tools to like refine it. Headphones definitely can get a little painful with wearing glasses. It like keeps pressing the sides of the frames into the sides of my head. Not a great feeling. Trying to work on this other undercut thing here. I'm trying to get this whole front part like smoothed out. I'd really like to get this into like a mold box today and get some silicone around it. It's just been sitting on my desk for like a week. I totally forgot to like edit my stream tags. Oh well. I'll do that later. Well, tomorrow. I noticed when I like had breaks between streams, like it would reset all my tags. Hey Splinters, how's it going? Yeah, you know, I gotta leave you wanting a little bit. Come back for that hot clay pushing action. Now with more fingers. Yeah, I was down for a while for various reasons. Hoping I got them all solved. I mean, it seems like it's going okay so far. Nature's Fingers. Which, I don't know if you know that joke or not. But, you know, you spend too much time near the radiation. Sometimes you make new things on your body. Sometimes it's new fingers. Nature's humans. That they are. Speaking of monkeys, we just watched that new movie about the monkey fight and the crocodile. It was alright. I didn't hate it. Well, that's unfortunate. That was a staple of my youth. I couldn't not watch it. I mean, it suffers the same fate of all the other ones, where, like, it was a little extreme in this one, though, where the human stories are, like, borderline stupid, or just were flat out stupid. Not enough. I mean, the fights were good, though. It's the reason. That's the price. It's the reason why you go. Pay the price of admission. It's like, what if it was like you wanted to watch UFC, but instead of UFC, it was like a monkey and a dinosaur? Sign me up. Right? For the amazing character development, that's why. Wait, what are we talking about? Speaking of things that are seeming like they would be bad but are actually fairly good, there's a show on Netflix where, like, we have one episode left called Teenage Bounty Hunters. It's actually pretty good. It sounds and looks stupid, but it's pretty good. I was gonna post about it, but I just, like, haven't. I keep forgetting. Amidst my other issues I've been having. It's good. It's like more of a comedy drama, but I've enjoyed it so far. Like I said, we've only got the finale left. Basically, if you watch the first episode and you like it, you'll like the rest of it. It's like, you know, there's no like, oh, is it gonna get better? Like, it's you know kind of what you're getting into in the first episode. Which is always nice, instead of like, you know, the shows where it's like people were like, oh, you gotta watch like the whole first season before it gets good. Like, no, that's not a good selling point. And Solar Opposites is out on Hulu season 2. If you haven't seen that, or if you have seen it and liked it, it's still, I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but it was pretty good, pretty okay. Not mean. Wayne, I do have Prime. I have not seen Wayne. I think you've mentioned this before. I'll have to add it to my list. So we're wrapping up a few things, so we're looking for other stuff that's like worth checking out, you know, to keep the old stream going, the TV stream. It's Solar Opposites is like better than Rick and Morty in some ways. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely add it to my to watch list. Yeah, we've just been watching, well, I mean, watching a lot of stuff because, you know, we don't go anywhere. But I do got that part 1 of the vaccine, so that's pretty cool. We got an appointment for part 2 for later this month, so that's pretty awesome. And then, I don't know, I guess we'll just keep doing the same thing and, you know, hope that eventually things get better. Okay, that looks not terrible. So what's been going on with you, Splinters, other than, you know, working and working? Oh, that's cool. I'll take your bothering, you know, I guess. This is actually coming along fairly quickly. I was a little worried it was going to take like all day. I still got my emo boy. Still got to finish sculpting his hair. You know, so there's like, we're not quite in the clear as far as like done with all this stuff just yet. Shit. Right. This is still like uneven. There's these weird little dips on the inside here I'm trying to smooth out. I guess that's good enough. That's what I said before, you know, good enough. It doesn't need to be like the best. It needs to do its job, and that's good enough. Trying to have the best is often pointless. Always perpetual waiting, because, you know, perfect is a moving target. Alright, so the inner part of this is looking decent. Getting some weird like curling in here. I don't know what else to call it. I guess that's good enough. Just gonna smooth this outer stuff down some. I don't think I need to add any kind of like weird keys or anything. I think this is mostly fine. I mean, I will add some, but not till this is like closer to finalized. I just want to smooth out this outer surface. Still a little too bumpy. Yeah, see, there's all these like little areas where it like piles up and then it creates these like cliffs. It's just the way it like collects when you try to drag it. even doing it like kind of soft, it still creates these like ridges and whatnot. It's doing it right there. It like piles up on itself, and then I guess it pushes down into the larger mass. So then you get this like almost like wave crest looking thing. So I spent time trying to smooth those out. Alright, that's good. So this outer part is more or less like okay. So we gotta work on the walls. Alright, because it's gonna be, we're gonna wall this all in. So it'll be 2 here. I think I want to flatten this out. So I'm just gonna cut off a chunk of this. I don't think it's square really at all, but it's fine. This will be kind of the same, but I'm just gonna start back here, wall this in, and then I'll fill these up so that it's got like a better like seam. I gotta plug in my heat gun, or not my heat gun, my glue gun, my goo gun. So I gotta take off these headphones. One moment. Okay, so that's going to take a little bit to warm up. Just going to move some of this other stuff out of the way. I got to clean this outer surface so that the glue actually sticks to it. This clay's like kind of oily, so it'll definitely prevent the glue from sticking to the surface. I've been frustrated enough by that in the past. I found I gotta use like a clean or pretty clean towel, otherwise it'll just drag the, it's like if I have like mold release and other stuff like sprayed on it or mineral spirits, it'll like be a mess. So I'm gonna use some you know, this stuff. Same old show. Don't mind the cable, it's temporary-ish. Alright, I gotta wipe these down too because same reason. I think I wiped these down the last time I worked, but I mean it's been at least a week, so probably a little bit longer. So I can't be totally like positive that they're clean enough. So I gotta wait for that gun to heat up anyway, so it gives me a little bit of time to burn. Set that aside, that aside. Alright. I think that might be too wide. I think I've got to put them like vertical. So I could probably start like sticking this to the clay. Oh, I think that's, it's not too bad. It's like fairly square. I mean, it's not square, but you know, it's okay enough for now. At least hold it in place until the gun is warmed up. I'll just pack some of this stuff on here to get it ready. All that work to smooth it out, only to lose it. Yeah, no, it gets difficult. Probably just, yeah, secure this other side instead of worrying about the inner part, or that like little inner space. I was doing the same thing. I'm trying to pack a little bit in here to let the clay be the thing that holds this against the acrylic, or sticks the acrylic like to itself. Just gotta be careful touching the outside because it'll leave like clay residue, which will then, I'll have to just wipe it down again because it'll prevent the glue from sticking to it. Once the glue gun's warmed up, I can start building the rest of this box, and then it's just a matter of filling in to close off like all the seams and whatnot and get like a flush edge against the wall. If I had planned ahead, I would have had the gun warmed up already, but I didn't actually think I was going to get this far today because everything's been kind of a mess lately. I kind of half expected it was going to, like, you know, the stream wasn't going to work or whatever, but it seems to be doing okay, at least from what I can see. So I'm basically just gap filling until the glue gun is warmed up, which should be soon. It's been, what, 10 minutes or so? Nice. Yeah, I'm glad it's like not giving me any issues. I'm pretty sure it was like this IP webcam I was using. Well, it was an Android phone, and I had it as a browser source, and I think it was just taking too much energy to keep the frame rate up. So cutting it seems to have eliminated the lag problems I was having on Monday. So I just spent most of today like doing more tests, and I made a couple quick intro outro graphics, so it's not quite as like harsh of a start finish on the stream. I have like something I can switch to when I'm like, you know, I'm like setting up so people know I'm there, and then something to kind of transition out. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see how this if this is ready. Yeah, that should be plenty warm. Actually, I need to move this. I don't want this wall to be quite as thick. It's like unnecessarily thick, so I just thought I could buy myself a little bit of space there. Not quite as warm as I'd like it to be, but it's alright. Android sends a ton of data back to Google in the background. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this is also like a shitty like free phone I got from Cricket when we signed my mom up, adding her to our plan. They're like, well, you get a free phone as part of it, so, you know, I kind of just attribute it to that it was just like a crappy phone, and it doesn't even have like the bandwidth or the processing power to sustain its own stream. So I have to look and see if there are any like USB cameras I can get. I looked at Droid Cam, but it like doesn't support Mac, so I don't have a driver for it. But it's also not like, you know, this critically important thing that I like need to have either, so I just thought it would be cool to have like two different views. But if it makes it too complicated and compromises the stream quality, then I'll just like not do it. Yeah, I believe that. I think I saw that like Google reports like they take like a ton of your data. Which doesn't surprise me from Google, to be honest. Since, I mean, they are a data company, you know. Yeah, they make products, but only to siphon data from their users. Definitely don't want to get into the Android, iOS, Apple is evil, you know, one of those things. Some people are very invested. I just also think Android has a pretty crappy user experience, so it's just, I'm just not a fan, generally. But if I got a free phone, I'll use it for something. Even if it's like a, you know, the equivalent of like a shitty flip phone. I also know, like, you know, in some non-US countries it's harder to get Apple stuff and it's a lot more expensive than it is here. So there's, like, you know, there's an accessibility issue too for a lot of users just with like budget. Yeah, I used to jailbreak my iPhone. It was fun for a while. And then they eventually just, like, they took so much of the jailbreak community's, like, features and rolled them into iOS. That, like, other than, like, tethering my phone, there was, like, not a lot of reason to, you know, to keep doing it. And also that, like, every time you update your, like, phone, you had to, like, re-jailbreak it, or you couldn't update until there was a jailbreak out for it. So that whole, like, thing got kind of annoying too. Not the fault of the jailbreakers, just, like, you know, the cycle. I mean, my like phone is just I have an 8 Plus. I bought that new, like, last year. So I'm definitely not, like, you know, cutting edge tech guy anymore. I could see that, like, keeping it jailbroken just to, like, have more control over, like, what's going on your phone. I think it was just, like, the ease of, I mean, jailbreaking has definitely gotten easier than it used to be. It's just something I haven't kept up on, to be totally honest. Whether it be, like, the time of, you know, just keeping up on, like, the information, or, like, the action of, like, jailbreaking it or whatever. It just hasn't been something I've, like, kept up on. Yeah, when we used to travel more, when we, like, lived in driving distance to, like, family and friends, the jailbreak was nice because I could use, you know, my computer in the car or whatever to work on stuff, and or have access to the internet. But we don't go anywhere anymore, so there's, like, not, you know, the usefulness of it is, like, pretty low. And I have an iPad with a cell slot, so I just put my SIM card in that, and I can use that if I need to, like, do something a little bit more involved. We're also in Cricket, which doesn't offer any kind of, like, hotspot option either, so, you know, all I can do is just use the data through, like, a mobile device. Let's see. I'm gonna have to build out that front a lot more, right?
Hot as spent powder. Smelled like it too.
Guess we'll cut this off.
As soon as the Vault Hunter's boots tasted dirt, he was off to town to see a sheriff about a bounty. Every respectable town's got itself a saloon. Perfect place to drink down some local knowledge and get the lay of the land. So figured the Vault Hunter.
I'm really curious how this movie's gonna go now that they've started casting it. I mean, I expect it's gonna be pretty terrible. I mean, a couple of their casting choices are questionable, but I actually don't hate Jack Black as Claptrap. All I've seen is just casting announcements. They must be basing it on the first game. So Kevin Hart is supposed to be Roland, which doesn't seem right, since, like, you know, it's like you have big tough marine guy and then Kevin Hart. Kate Blanchett is supposed to be Lilith, like the siren. And I think the only other one was Jack Black announced as Claptrap. I don't think there's any other casting announced, and there's no script or anything, and I don't know who's making it, so I don't know if they've even announced the director. I hate to be like, oh, it's just a cash grab, but I mean, probably. Granted, like, I don't know if the game is bigger now than it was around 2's prime, but whatever. I mean, I'll probably still watch it. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting like that, like a Jumanji, Monster Hunter kind of like vibe. I mean, the game is like, you know, has like comedy and stuff in it too. I mean, obviously more as it goes on, but as the series goes on. But my hopes aren't super high that it's going to be like, you know, particularly great. Which is disappointing, but, you know, it's out of my control, so whatever. I'm sure I'll watch it at some point. Yeah, definitely. Definitely feels that more than anything, right? Like, you know, we're at the fourth game, and there's like, you know, a decent amount of like lore, and I assume they're just gonna throw out pretty much everything and just write something totally new. I mean, I could see if it was like done right, it could have that kind of like Firefly vibe, Cowboy Bebop, like this, you know, unknown future, and kind of like it's like scattered, and you know, people like escape to Pandora, and there's like all the shit that happened in like the background of the game. The dude, that blue-armed, moldy banana colorway torso in the background is so dope. Oh, this guy? Yeah, he's just, that's like a dumping ground for, I'm gonna mold these shoulder pegs, so I've just been slopping, like, excess stuff onto it, and this is actually the one that's gonna be, I'm gonna make the hollow body from. So I'm gonna like mold this whole outer part and then build the inside. So it's like kind of a off the side, you know, long-term project. But welcome in, Crumbs. It's cool that you're here. Sabretooth, you were saying, Plot Girl gets sucked into this alt sci-fi universe and hilarity ensues. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah. It's funny, like all that, the moldy banana stuff, that's all like just different layers of like epoxy sculpt and sanding and paint, and it's just like an in-progress mess. But now I have to make a note about, you know, doing the moldy banana colorway. Gotta make that happen. Let's see, I need, I guess I can just use this. Just gotta drop some keys in here. So I know some of this stuff's a little hard to see on the camera with just like the angle and everything. It's even hard for me to see, and I'm looking right at it. I should have sealed this up a little bit better, but it's probably fine. Probably fine. So I'm trying to get this in here. I guess you can, that's the upside of the acrylic, because you can see through it, so that's helpful sometimes. I don't need this whole like, I don't need this whole area to like fill with silicone, so I'm trying to just close that all off. Yes, that's good enough. Shouldn't lose much of it through there. Yeah, Genius used clear encasement. Yeah, I've definitely been getting shit from Sabretooth for like months. I haven't forgotten. I also just haven't, you know, made time to cut that stuff down. I literally still have the like 4x2 uncut sheet out of my back porch of fiberboard. Yeah, there's definitely moments where like the transparency is really helpful. And there's other times where it being acrylic kind of sucks, like when your whole mold pops off the bottom because the glue didn't stick. So that's always fun. I'm just putting some keys in here. Well, I'm trying to anyway. I got another... I gotta find my other tool here real quick. It probably is buried at the bottom of this container. Yep, there it is. Shit. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I mean, time is no joke. Everything takes time, you know. Some things I got time for, and sometimes I don't. Guess we'll just leave that the way it is. A lot of times I forget to put these things in until I've like built the whole box, and I'm just like, awesome, now I gotta tear it open and do this. So at least I remembered halfway through this time. That's probably good enough. Alright, let's see, I gotta fill that all in, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill in this whole, like, corner. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time working on these molds. I probably do more of this than actually casting stuff, which is kind of dumb, but I mean, that's just where we are, you know? I mean, these molds are such a big part of, like, what I'm trying to do, so I gotta invest the time in them. So hopefully y'all came for pushing clay around, because you're gonna get lots of that. That's not bad there. Okay. Gonna throw this out on Discord too. What's the oldest you let silicone set unopened and still use it? Like, when you say unopened, do you mean like, you know, crack the seal the first time? Because if it's just like that, then I've used like a few years old silicone. All the pushing clay like pushing tin. No Kevin Costner. Yeah, all the molds I was doing in the fall, where it's all the like teal silicone, all that stuff is old Moldstar 15. No, it's not even Moldstar, it's Mold Max 15. And I traded that. Somebody, I had like Umu 30 I bought like when I first started, and I wasn't going to use it, and I don't remember if it was the Instagram or another group, but somebody was like, hey, I have, you know, like half a gallon, you know, set of Moldstar 15 or Moldmax 15. Does anybody want to trade me, you know, the unused portion for Umu or whatever it was that I had? And so I took that trade and I sent him, like, you know, the pint kit or whatever, and that I hadn't opened. And so I got the, you know, buckets of Moldstar 15 in the mail, and they just like sat under my desk for forever. But I decided just to try to use them up this fall. So all those molds I made, all the first like sock molds and stuff, all that was very old, like multi-year-old Moldstar 15. I think the disclaimer on silicone is a lot more flexible as far as like the shelf life, just in my own experience. Like unmixed silicone seems like it lasts for quite a while. So if you've got old stuff, you probably can still use it without much of a problem. If you mix it thoroughly, because it does separate, it should be okay. Now resin, I mean, that's a whole other story. That stuff goes bad pretty fast. And by goes bad, I mean the part A or whatever, the catalyst like crystallizes just from like being open. Good to know. Hoping I need not throw it away and buy more. Yeah, the silicone's probably good. Like, if you're unsure, I mean, just like mix up a little bit of it in a cup, and you don't even have to make a mold of anything. Just mix it in like a little throwaway plastic cup or something, and just as long as if it sets, then it's good. You can always like take that, you know, cured test chunk and just drop it into like a mold you're making. That and freighter is stuck again in the canal. So definitely going to be a resin shortage. I read something about rising resin prices. I haven't followed up on it though. I was trying to get like everything squared away for the stream today, so probably over the weekend I'm gonna read into like, I think it was like a screen cap from plasticstoday.com or something, some like news website. So I'm gonna look into that over the weekend and read that. I've also been thinking about, like, since I started messing with stocks due to, you know, GME, I was like, well, what kind of stuff do I want to like buy stocks about? Because I don't know shit about stocks. And so I started looking at like plastic and polymer manufacturers, and I was like, well, I use resin. Like, maybe I should like invest in a company that makes resin. So I don't have the money for like full stocks, but I was looking at, I got a bunch of them on my watch list. I've been wondering, like, do I sell my GME and then buy, like, you know, plastics stock? But I don't know. So I'm just gonna let it sit. Now it's a little hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm just gap filling. I also want, I don't want like a big, like, overlap on the side here. I know that's not really the right word I'm looking for, but it would have like kind of made like a cap on the sides of the mold, and I want it to be kind of like just a middle part where it's like surrounded on the sides. So I'm trying to just build up this wall, like build this up like that, just so it has like a cleaner like part. Gonna have to make those toys to get to retirement. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what, I don't have another plan, so yeah, pretty much. I'm like, well, I guess I could try to actually learn like how to code. I mean, well, I know a little bit, but not like anything like productive. I ain't gonna be building no startup anytime soon. But I got some thoughts. And I'm like, well, I don't need to work for someone else to do that, so at least I can like try to just build something, you know, tech-wise. But yeah, it's like toys are bust pretty much at this point. I mean, it's like, it seems like the toy market's like probably bigger than it's been, at least in like the collectible figures kind of thing. I actually worry that it's like gonna be at a saturation point though. But I mean, there's like, you know, a ton of people in the world, so probably not. Fill in that whole corner before I even bother smoothing it out. Once I get this filled in, I can start measuring, or doing calculation for like silicone. That'll be cool to actually get this like half done. And depending on the time, what is it, 3:46? I might actually have time to do like the second half if I can get this last part of this mold finished quickly enough. It'd be nice to get the whole thing done like today, from it like sitting stagnant for a week. That's getting there. A little bit more and I should be able to clean up this edge line and then put up this final wall. Kind of a mess, but I'll just smooth it out real quick. No, quick-ish. Oh, maybe not that quick. doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be good enough. Just good enough to do the job I need it to do. Thanks, Dacitus. You know, I mean, that's pretty normal though. I'm usually some form of a mess. Tell me something I don't know. Get my pinky in there. Just gotta get your finger in there and wiggle it around. Oh, that one's not gonna be quite what I need. These are just gonna be a little messy. That's gonna have to be okay.
Butcher Rose's den of thieves was a ways up the mountain path. Good a place as any to start on that bounty.
A trump of clay. Come on now. What are you trying to say? I don't even know what that means. I'm triggered. I'm so confused right now. I mean, y'all know by now this is the Push and Clay show. All the other stuff is just a ruse to get you here for the Push and Clay. It's just a ruse. Alright, that's good enough. You need to workshop that? Yeah, I could see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go work on that. And come back with some fresh meat. Suffocating poor clay with resin. I mean, you know, it shouldn't come here if it wasn't willing to sacrifice itself for the cause. This ain't a charity. Alright, that looks... So that side is as done as it's gonna get. Gotta smooth it. Gotta smooth it out. I like it to be smooth. Watch me go and break that injection channel. That'd make me real mad. I knew this mold was going to be a difficult one. I was like pretty confident about the design of the part, but then when it came to the mold I was like, I think I made a huge mistake. I thought about this mold for like a week of like how I was gonna build it with like minimal cuts and whatnot. I almost made it a 3-part mold, which is still not outside the realm of possibility. With the third part really just being like an envelope, more or less, not an actual like designed mold. Okay, that's getting pretty close to done. So fill in that and fill in that, because we're not going to have a lot of room to work once that other wall goes up. Yeah, I figured I was going to have to fill this all in. Better to do it now while you have access to it. Alright. Put the keys back in. Keys, please. This was just not going to be one there, and that's fine. Alright, so then this will go there, so I'm going to cut this off. Try to get a kind of straight side here. How much do I gotta build up? Not too much, but some. So it's probably better to just overbuild this a little bit. Easier to just push this down than to try to like get access from the top and force a bunch of clay in there. Flatten. Alright, how does that look? Better. A little more in the front. A little s'more in the front. Alright, that looks pretty okay. So stick this thing on. I gotta write this down again just to be sure it's. I don't feel like having this thing come off. I'm trying to do stuff. Okay. No, it wasn't on there. Trying to get this to bond here. Close off all the spots that could leak. Front. Alright, that should be good. So that's sealed, that's sealed. Just gotta check for leaks. Alright, that all looks good enough. Unplug that. I gotta figure out how much resin or silicone I need. Time for math. Everyone's favorite part. Math class. Clay prison. I mean, if it wanted to be free, it shouldn't have come here. So we'll do so that's the front. Alright, so then we've got looks more like something from The Cell with J-Lo. 7.3. Yeah, I mean, that movie was decent, like, visually. It's actually been so long since I've seen it, I can't really make a comment on the quality of the movie. 7. 6.4. Yeah, that's what I remember, is like it looked amazing, and the script was like kind of meh. 6.5. And then, what's the height? height. Let's see. How do I want this? The highest point. I gotta finish that one side here. Forgot about that. 5. Yeah, I guess 5 is the tallest. So I actually need to smooth this part out. I forgot that I didn't go in and do that. So all I need is all the stuff I pour in here to like run down the side. Tried a little too hard to follow Silence of the Lambs. It was set inside Trent Reznor's house. Yeah. My head bumping into the camera. It's just so massive. Sorry, I tried to be quiet for too long. Sometimes when I'm like trying to get something like this done, I kind of forget where I am and just focus on it. Well, not literally forget, but you know what I mean. The zone or whatever. I'm also trying to get it like done kind of quick so it doesn't delay me too much longer to get in the first half of this board. It's weird to be like kind of close to being done with like a larger project, but there's like little parts of it that you're kind of waiting on. I guess anyone who's worked on like large projects can understand that. Blockers, as they're called in the tech world. That's good enough. Good enough. Measure twice, cut once. Yeah, always. It's funny how often people forget that too, you know? Oh, shit, I gotta do math. I guess I gotta use my computer for that. You know, so we can compute things. So, I gotta find the average here. Plus 1, minus 1, so 7.2. 6.5 and 5. So we're gonna get the area. Aw. That can't be true. Not all the time, at least. 7 times 0.2 times 6.5 times 5. 234. So 234 is the total volume of that space. My headphones are shedding. Well, I mean, I've measured twice, cut once, how many times mixed in silicone, and I still seem to screw it up. So I gotta figure out the rough volume of this space now, right? So let's see, we'll do some measuring. We'll estimate that about 4 wide. So we need the like negative space now, right? So it's like this. Plus the top. Okay, so we're looking at about 4 across, and then how much from the bottom? About 4.5. No, that's not exactly right. 4.5, and the length is the same. 6 point, or was it 7? The length was 7, right? Yeah. 7.2 for the length. So what, to measure the area of a triangle, it's what, length times height? Base times height? I forget. Let's see. Area of triangle. Let's see. Base times height divided by 2. So, what's the base? The cross width? No. This is the base. So that's the base. And the height is here. So 4.5 is our height. The base is 4 divided by 2, so it's 2. So we multiply 4.5 by 2, and then divide that by 2 to get the base, or the area, right? So 4.5 times 2, I know it seems like it should be easy, but I'm just doing the math anyway. Divided by, yeah. So it's 9. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, so it's 9 divided by 2. So was that 4.5? So 4.5 times the length is going to be 4.5 times 7.2. It should be the volume. Like figuring square inch, but half inch. 32.4. And then we'll multiply that by 2 because we have 2 of them here. Right. Area of the triangle. I guess that's the length, right? No, that's the hypotenuse, that's not the length. So 64, so 65 should be the negative space. Sounds half area of square is usually how I do it. We'll do the volume. So what did I say? It was 4 times 4.5 times. Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll take these area measurements. So it's 4 across, 4.5 high, and 7.2. So we should be able to take the area of the inner space and then divide that by 2, and we'll see if we get the same amount. People coming for toys and getting a math lesson. They're like, I'm out of here. This is dumb. 4.5 times 4. So 129.6. So we'll say 130. And then we'll divide 130 by 2, right? And that's that should be about the right amount. 130 divided by 2. Yeah, 65. So I was right. Okay. We did it. We did it. We did it. Success. Okay, so 65. Now we divide that by 2. 30. So we're going to round up, right? So 30 is 32.5. So we're going to round that up to 35 because it's easier to do the division. So that's our part A and B. Is 35 mLs for a total of 70. So we're just going to overshoot it by 5 because we're going to lose some in the mix and pour and all that. So like it's good to like overshoot it a little. Clean up our space a little bit. Alright, let's see. So we need, that's mold star 20T. And where's the rest of it? 20, mold star 20T, there we go. Parts A and bois. So we're gonna move this guy off to the side. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Zero. It's like good to go over, you know, because like you have like loss on all the surfaces. You can't actually get all of it into the container. So it's good to calculate that loss. My model has germinated. It's like a little tentacle within a plastic box. Oh yeah, it's like a little plant. He's like growing, you know. He's growing a little squiggly arm for you. Now I need to find a container that's both small enough and big enough. And also moderately clean. I say 35. I don't know if I have something that small. I probably do. Oh. Okay, so step back. So I fucked up. Okay, so this is the negative space. This is not the amount I want. I'm dumb. I'm a dummy. I need to subtract that from 234. Minus 65. 169. So 170. That's our total volume. This is the negative space. It's It's one of those things. Sometimes I don't catch that and I like mix it up wrong because I'm like so involved in getting the math right that I like forget what I'm even doing. So 170 by 2 is what? Well, it's like something. 85. Okay, so 85 A and B. I mean, this is going to be useful for later because, you know, we'll still need the negative space, but it's going to be this negative space. So it's actually, this is actually just garbage. Who cares? Okay, so 85s. That seems more. I was like, wait a minute. That seems like it's way, definitely not enough. 85. So we got 80 there. Don't pay attention to this math class. No. Absolutely not. Hey, if you wanted to learn stuff, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Find someone who knows what they're doing. Because clearly that's not me. Alright. So this is gonna be the one we mix. Because we need to color tint it. It's no good. Focus on the toys. Nope. Yep, it's trash. Where's my... Hope he just buys a science calculator for this one. Hey! Hey, Splinters. I don't want to hear your lip, alright? You get what I give you. I just got confused for a minute. Leave me alone! The number was right, I just forgot to do the last step. Wait, did I? Yeah. 85. Yeah, that's right. I need the negative space. That's why I was trying to get to, like, the beads and stuff. I just want to dump it in and be like, that's how much it is. Go. But I've had, like, you know, precarious situations with the beads, so we're not on speaking terms right now. Every time I bring the beads out, they're like, no, I want to do my own thing. And it's always, they want to be on the floor. And I don't want to do that today. I don't want to play that game with them. You're using them wrong. I mean, let's be honest. The stream is really here for people to watch me screw up. So, you know. Because that's an inevitability. It's all just the slow burn build up to the screw up. It's like the payoff at the end of the movie. You're just like, there it is. That's what I came for. Thanks, Crumbs. I'm glad I could be something positive for someone, unlike this all this sass I'm getting from these other clowns. bad feeling about this. See, now I'm all like, wait, did I screw up again? I'm like, I feel like the negative space is what I wanted, right? Not like that I am now pouring too much. Bone splinters, you had to open some new material at work. We usually use the Dragon Skin 10, but they sent Mold Star 16. I don't actually know what the difference between those two is. You're gonna refill on algae pills to get back to your mold. Nice. Let's see. So, I feel like I screwed this up, right? And I not screwed it up, but I'm like still using the wrong numbers because this seems like a lot of silicone. But 65 doesn't seem like enough. That's like 65 is like that much, and that is definitely not going to fill it. So it's probably right, and we're just going to assume that it's bet more than right. It's too much than not enough. Yeah, because we've done not enough before, and it's always a disaster. So we're just going to go with too much, and if we have too much, then we have too much, you know. Gonna use that hot trick that I got, you know, not totally from Bone Splinters, but I was like, oh, I should try this. And he was like, oh, yeah, I totally do that. We're gonna put some dye into 1/2 of our silicone because it's clear and you can't tell if it's mixed or not because it's all clear. Dumb. One of them should have been slightly tinted, you know, but here we are. This is how we get those watermelon fleshy molds. Not totally. I literally had this idea, and then the next time I was like on stream, I was like, oh, I had this idea. You're like, yeah, I do that. And I was like, okay, but that was the incentive. That was like, yeah, this is a good idea because Splinters does it. It's an homage to your genius, Splinters. Come on, take the compliment. Watermelon meat molds. It looks so good you could eat them, but you shouldn't. But I won't stop you either, because you're an adult. Alright, so that's good to go. Oh, I need a happy hour. Why don't I have any beer in front of me? Because I'm a slacker, that's why. I'm gonna have to put in a request to my partner to bring me a boozy treat, because that's what I need to be doing while I'm working. I mean, it is, but you know, it's also Friday. Gotta get your Rebecca Black on. That's correct, Sabretooth. Every hour is happy hour if you're guzzling. Alright, so I need the other half now, right? So we'll set this aside. And we'll get the we're gonna stir this stuff up. Set that aside. That's our vessel. Booze would probably help. Help my math. I mean, maybe, possibly. I need to get my bead game figured out so I can just skip the whole math part, because, you know, it's not, I can do it, but it's not, you know, my strong suit. I don't know if I have a strong suit. I have a suit. It's in my closet. Well, it's not really a suit. It's more like a blazer and some pants. Yeah, that's probably good enough. That's, well, we'll just pour this out, right? We need 85. That's 85, 85, and 85 is 170, yeah, so we're up here. Yeah, I do enjoy a good pun, Crumbs. I'm not the sharpest tool, but I do appreciate the wordplay. I mean, I'm a tool, I'm just not that sharp, you know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for this headphone cable to, like, yank my whole desk, my whole thing off the table. Did my camera freeze? What's going on? Is my video frozen, or is just my OBS server crashed? Let me know if the video stopped, because I can't tell. Close that connection. Just gotta reconnect. Nope, I guess it's okay. I guess my server just croaked for a second. Ugh. Being attacked. Okay, cool. I was worried for a second. Yeah, I'm using this, so I'm like running the stream from my iPad, and I have like a browser open, and then this other app called, I think it's called like OBS Blade. So I have them in like a split screen, and the OBS Blade has like a little preview of like your video. Because you can like run a server off OBS directly for testing and stuff. And so like the video preview was frozen, so I was like worried that it was, you know, like that for you guys. But I guess not, so everything's fine. Alright, let's see, I gotta prime the compressor. Let's see, hopefully that's not too loud. If it is, let me know. Need another container. 170, that should be good. So then we'll do this into this. Alright, we got it. You're done. Yeah, the angle's a little weird here, just with, you know, my hands like in the way a lot. Trying to be mindful of that. It's tough. I feel like there's not like a great angle. I was hoping this would be like a little bit better, but a lot of my stuff is off to my right because just that's how small the room is. So the left is really the only place I can put the camera that makes any sense. So I'm just trying to be mindful and not block the view too much. When I first started doing this, one of my first regulars was I'm pretty sure he was like saying it jokingly, but would make comments about being annoyed about like I'm scraping the scraper when I'm doing this stuff, and I'm like, bro, I need to get all the stuff. This stuff costs money. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but you know. If you're quietly watching, Cap, you know, I'm calling you out, bro. Thanks, Sabretooth. I'm glad it's, you know, this view's like working out. That's done. I'm gonna clean this off real quick so that I don't want it to start curing early. So I gotta like clean these in between parts, because you know they'll start setting up as soon as they make contact, and this silicone sets up pretty fast. Like I think it's got like a 5-minute pot life, which is crazy for a silicone to set up that fast. But it's like, it's pros and cons, right? You can like get more molds done more quickly, but you gotta work really fast. Yeah, for sure, Sabretooth. Well, once I pop this stuff into the pressure tank to like let it cure, I can, because the phone's on an arm now, so I can kind of swing it around a little bit, give you a little bit more of a view. But like that post I put up on Instagram, that's pretty much it. Off to my right is like another window, and so my air compressor sits there, my pressure tank sits there, and I have like a vent hood I made out of this like cardboard box, and my vacuum pump is there. So like I do everything like right off to my right. And behind me there's a little toaster oven that I use to like post bake stuff. My pressure tank also has a faulty pressure switch, so it like doesn't stay full. I have to like run it a lot. Alright, so it's gonna be, I gotta be a little quick here because it's gonna not be very forgiving. Yeah, another artist I've been friends with for a long time is Life is Terrible Toys, and he was the one who suggested this Moldstar 20T. And like at first I like thought it was really hard to work with because of the speed. That was like what he likes about it. But I've come to appreciate it. It definitely has like its uses. It won't work for every project just due to like how fast it is. But depending on like what you're trying to do, you can get more molds done more quickly with 20T. So if you're looking for a way to speed up your mold production, it's a good option. Yep, there's that faulty switch. It keeps turning on. It like doesn't know if it's full, so it just keeps turning on. Alright, so I gotta mix this up real quick. That thing's just gonna click on and off until because I don't really have the moment here to keep reaching over to turn it off. Now if these are like mixed, so this little excess on the green one doesn't really matter. This stuff's like fairly low viscosity too, which is good. So it pours pretty well. Gotta get that high pour. And this stuff doesn't really work with vacuuming because it's so fast. So what I've been doing is I put it under pressure. It's been working. So if you do try it out, either just let it like cure on its own on like a table, or put it in a pressure tank. It looks like that was enough. Yeah, I might have a little excess, but that's fine. Well, for those of you who, you know, dabble in the resin arts, and you'll know when this stuff is starting to set up, it gets like, it'll start getting like, it'll turn into like a gel. And that means your time is running out. But, because you're pressurizing it, it buys you a little extra time. Because as long as it's like still liquidy, even if it's starting to thicken up, the pressure will crush a lot of the bubbles. You just gotta get it in there before it's like totally like a solid. Alright, so I'm just trying to get this tank closed up real quick. Okay. Hey Xanaramus, it's been a while. Yeah, I had to take a break for a little while. Sorry about the bot, guys. I haven't configured it too much yet. I gotta learn how to set that thing up. Let me see. So I gotta clean this stuff out. Because this stuff will like cure onto your tools. I'm not sure if it'll like just peel off or not, and I don't really want to take that chance, so I end up having to just clean everything really quick. You stuff in like your plastic container, you can let it set and then just peel it out later. I actually find it a little difficult to clean that stuff though later once it cures. It's I mean, it's fine. It's just like tedious. I see splinters. The preemptive spanking. Yeah, thanks, Danoramas. It was like just a series of things. Like, I got kind of sick for a little while, not COVID, fortunately. And then I had dental surgery, so that I was out of commission for like a few weeks there. And I was working on trying to improve the stream, so I was like trying some stuff, and I tried to stream earlier this week, and it was like a disaster. So I spent, most of this week troubleshooting that, and finally got it pretty much figured out. And so this is the first day I've been able to come back and have like a successful stream. So it's been good. So thanks for showing up and saying hi. So I'm going to be cleaning up this mess for a little bit here. Like, this stuff's already half set. And it's only been, what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna clean this. We'll go sleeping. It's nearly 3 a.m. in Ukraine. Hope you're doing well. Camper, happy to have you back. Thanks, Danoramas. I appreciate you popping in. Yeah, it's definitely really late there, so, I have come to appreciate getting a good sleep. So, have fun with that. And I'll see you when I see you. Actually, I'm just going to use this thing instead. Now's a good time to take a little pause if you wanted to hang around for a while. This is like a necessary step, and so it's not that interesting. Well, it's not interesting at all, but gotta clean my tools. They keep me going. Alright, see you later, Sabretooth. Thanks for hanging out. Look at that slime. swear it hasn't set up this fast before. It's really weird. Oops, shit. Alright. The downside of live streaming is sometimes you have the unsexy parts of creative work you kind of gotta sit through. Obviously, like in a YouTube video, you just cut all this stuff out, but live, not so much. So apologies for that. Yeah, this is like I got this from my dad. He like was a stonemason, and he built like a boat model of the ship he was on in the Navy and whatnot. So I got some of this from him, like the taking care of your tools, because then they're both like ready the next time you need them, and you know, the maintenance keeps them in service for a long time. And while it may not be like fun, you know, it's like you put gas in your car because it's like necessary, you know. And your tools are the same way. They require like maintenance and care. They need to know you love them. And just like that, all your viewers were gone. It's cool, I understand. I would have left me too. It's the stuff nobody wants to see. Not even me. We got another hour. So I'll probably put that stuff in, we'll say 5 minutes ago. So then we've got, what, 30-minute cure time. So we're looking at, this all just needs, I need to get a crappier towel to wipe this out with. So maybe, we'll say 5:30. I can pull that mold, which means I guess I could do a little bit of sculpting, because I can't put anything in the pot while it's cooking. Alright, that needs washed. So I'll set that aside. I gotta scrape these out real quick and then I'll be done with this whole cleaning stuff thing. close that. I might have sent the wrong message. I feel like I sent the message that I was like done, and people like everyone jumped at the same time, which I guess is fine. I mean, otherwise it's like sitting here for 20 minutes while I'm just cleaning up before I can do something else. Wish I could just set the stuff aside and like keep going, but I end up needing it again, and then I'm like end up having to clean it anyway. Maybe I need like a cleaning segment, something I can like put up when I'm cleaning stuff. I'll figure out what that's gonna be though. I wonder if I could like, I guess you have to go off stream to host someone, which isn't really what people want to see either. I have to just think about that. It's got to be a solution. Or like appropriate content. I'll investigate that over the weekend, give it some thought. Think about a cleaning thing, something I can put up for that. No. Done with these. I guess I can work on this sculpt a little bit. I still gotta finish this hair. That's good. The other side. Yeah, maybe I'll just end the stream at 5. I don't know. If no one's like hanging out, then maybe it's I guess, I guess it doesn't hurt. I guess hang around for a while longer. How's a raid work? Let's see. Nope. Brendan's not live. Okay. Is that what I want? Yeah. That one. That one. I need some alcohol. Trying to make some more hairs for this guy. Do it like that. Let's try to blend it in. Without snapping off the hairs that are already there. Desk is crooked. Alright, that's a start. trying to just fill out these hair strands. I'm gonna try to build like the body of the hair. I know it's not quite like ideal, but just getting the initial shape ready is the hard part, at least for me, because I mean this is the first time I've sculpted hair, so it's like a learning experience too. Really, I want to just get the main surface built first. Stop leaning forward. It really kills your back. Kills my back, anyway. Oops. I need to sculpt that one a bit more, sand it. So I'm really just trying to lay like layers of hair here to build like the general body of it, and then once this is all baked, I'll go back and start filling in and reinforcing the shape, and then putting like finer texture into it, because this can't be cast. I mean, there's no way that can be molded. I mean, you can, it just isn't going to work out. This is like a little slow, but so far the result is looking decent. I mean, just the general like look of the hair. I mean, it's very dread-like, which isn't like the goal, but it also like looks fine. Because it has like some flow to it, you know. I have to do a lot of like surface sculpting to make it like blend together and have like make it look natural. Alcohol's evaporating too fast. Was I pushing down that? No, I thought I snapped one off. I gotta build up this middle section. So probably 2 more rows. While not bumping the ones that I just put down. That's the challenge, you know. So this needs to go up here. Of course, it's got a cat hair in it. Ah, dang it. Well, that was inevitable. That's too long anyway. I'm honestly surprised I've only broken off 2 hairs at this point. I can just glue that on later. Sand it down. That'll be fine. I probably should have drawn like this is that doesn't even right. Sweet. Pads for the hair. Just like I should have drawn guides on there, or carved in guides, so I kind of had a direction to follow, or instead of just doing what I'm doing now, which is kind of just laying them in where they look kind of right, instead of having like a path. But again, I mean, I've never done this before, so I can't be too hard on myself. Yeah, making them too thin, and that like breaks apart as I try to roll it out. Really, like, they should be thicker anyway, because it's better for trying to mold it, and then I can always sand them down to make them thinner if I need them to be thinner. Yeah, see, that's like, it's not even like pressed together. Yeah, it should be just more rope-like. Shoot the length right first, and then yeah, like that, and then just cut this off. Just lay it down. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to get it in the right orientation. So that goes back a little too far. It should be, yeah, more in line with the front. Looks like it's a little too thick. But as I build it up, I can reduce some of that mass. Probably should have pinned it down on the far side of the line and let the line be like where the stalk of the hair starts. Or the tendril. guess we'll do that. We'll try to lay it down here. Use the upper part of it. Try to attach that to the scalp. I don't need the preview running the whole time. I think it's contributing to it losing connection. So we do the same thing here, right? That'd be here. Get like a 6-foot extension for this thing, which should give me enough slack. You both don't see the wire, and I have freedom of movement. Just gonna send one down the back here. Definitely don't want the spiral pattern. Not quite what I wanted. Trying to get the hangs right before I put it in the oven. Some of these aren't quite right. That needs to be fixed. So I could do one more coming down here, right off the part line. And then we'll do the last row. Well, gotta do another row across the top here, and then some strands off that spot. That's enough. So do one more strand here, right? Yeah. Don't stick together. Okay. This is getting fairly close to being done. I mean, at least there's like the general shape here. I'm gonna add one in that spot, and this because I set the one that should have been there too far to the side, so it left that spot open. So now I gotta fill that in before I proceed. Oh, that's starting to curl. That looks like crap. This clay is a little finicky when it comes to trying to roll out these small parts. Put too much pressure on it, it like starts to split apart. That's probably good right there. So then cut that off. Smooth down where it connects. Well, try to get it to bond to the existing clay. A little bit of alcohol works to liquefy this clay. So then it like dries onto itself. Okay, can press that down a little bit. So I'll have a couple more strands that come out of here to give this like shaggy look I'm going for with that. And then once this is all baked, and I do a bit more sculpting, I gotta sculpt all the stuff on the side here that's gonna be like the hair that's cut short. So I'm gonna have to bake this before I can add any more. Otherwise they get too fragile. So I'm gonna end the stream here and pop this guy in the oven, pull out this other mold, take a look at that, and I'm gonna try to come back on tomorrow if I have the time, or I can make the time. So I will see you then. Thanks.